Hi guys, welcome back to the Savage. What we're doing today, or what we have done this week rather, is finished all the engine plates and transferring all the holes for the front engine plate and the supercharger plates for the dragster. It's a long video, it's about half an hour if you want to sit through it. I like to show the whole process, so if you ever need to build any engine plates or for any special, it'll give you some tips and tricks how you can get around certain problems of finding your holes properly. We also made all the transfer pins ourselves. It's not in the video because otherwise it would even be even longer, so I'll just show them. Very simple. They are just tiny little pins. You stick them in the engine and mark the plates by giving them a tap with a drift. They're all individually sized because the holes, we'll talk about it in the video, the holes are all ever so slightly different, so you just make them to size. That's another one that we use in the video. Let's have a look what's been going on. We made these plates and then Supercharger. The plates are already made, but now they're mounted together here. We're still enlarge these holes and make some spacers, but now we can shift the charger in and out for the alignment for the belt drive. The next job probably, well, more than likely, is we need to make a hub. Similar to this one, well, not this piece, to mount the aluminium pulleys on. I might make the pulleys myself. They're a belt drive pulley. I might make them myself. It depends how time consuming it is, versus buying some blanks. But then the hubs are made out of steel because that's a tapered shaft. Aluminium doesn't like it. It swells, you know. And here we need to make a keyed shaft, and this one will sort of look similar, be a hub where we can mount it on. This one here will get a large hexagonal milled on it as well, a hex, you know, like the shape of a nut, and that is for the electric starter, so it's a crank start, you know. There's still contours to do and making the plates look nice. But that is absolutely the last job, because also here we need to incorporate a belt tensioner for the belt to the supercharger as well. At the front here we'll either make it nice and round. We can gain a bit more ground clearance as well because the charger is actually here, so we can lose a bit more material here. Have a look at the other video. All the videos about the drag bike, I'll put all the links in the description, so have a look at the previous video how we arrived off hanging the supercharger, because before there is nothing there, you know, how you measure it and mount it. We had to check the ground clearance as well because it's very low to the ground. And at the front here, I have not decided yet. Maybe I might make a spoiler. That at the same time also could become a catch tank. For some race circuits, normally you will run open rocker boxes. Some race circuits, they require to have an engine breather catch tank for that. So it could double for that and just make a little scoop. Then we need some aluminium here, obviously, to bolt the tank to bolt the spoiler to. So therefore, you know, let's not chop it off until we decided what we do with this. But the main one now is to make the hub for the crank, the steel hub for that. Then we can do the drive. Then we can make the spacers and give the final in and out adjustment on the supercharger, and then we can finish off the plenum chamber here because all needs boring out. Get some it will get some perspex windows through here, both sides, so you can see the fuel guzzling in. But that's for later. So Please like and subscribe. Have a look at the other videos. I'll try to keep them all together and update us more when we do some more work on this. Okay, enjoy the video. Thanks very much. I'll just trial fit the template. If you're not happy with a curve or like a tight little bit like in here, you just cut a separate little piece, make it fit a bit better, and just stick it on. And then now we just gotta creep the supercharger in a little bit more, that one. So here's our extra piece. Probably I will add another 1/4 of an inch onto this, make it a bit fatter. Yeah. So we just cut them out with a jigsaw. I know you can have it laser cut and everything like that. We're just old school. We just do it with a file. It doesn't take long. So we roughly cut. File them once. It's just rough. We just make sure it fits first, and then we'll clean it up. Let's see how long it takes to do that. It'll take about 10 minutes. These are aluminium files. They're single cut, so they don't block so easy. That eats it. You can get quite a good finish with it as well. It's an old file, but it's a proper aluminium file. Goes real quick. Right, there we go. These set screws. One might as well give it a bit of shape. The bottom one has not been fettled yet, so it's slightly larger than the top one. But it's the same here and it's the same here because we filed them two sides together. Okay, that'll do. Let's drill the holes. We're making some little pins for the gearbox on the dragster. Needs a little hole here for split pin. But it's much easier when it's a little bit bigger. And just grind a little flat on it and then drill the little hole on the drill press, and then we just turn it down. It's far easier as try to center a little hole through there. So let's do that. So this was our little job from this morning, making these two little pins. They are the gear change, 2 gears, and it's operated by an air cylinder that runs underneath the bike here. So we still need to build an air tank as well to charge it up. So that's how that works. It's a planetarian gearbox. But what I'll do is I'll make a separate video about the power plant because there's quite a lot going on in here as well, and then we can talk about all this thing all together. Just back to the nuts and bolts. Front engine plate. So we rough cut them out, we rough file them, and then we hand fettle them and make it creep in so it follows the line perfectly, and it sits on a little edge as well. So and then now we've got one plate good, well, the outlines of it. So it's time to find a place for 2 little set screws to bolt both plates together, and then any drillings and machining and filing that we do to finish it off, it's all beautifully parallel with each other, and the plates don't move. So making transfer punches. The studs are 3/8, but what Triumph does do is they have got a slightly more clearance than a standard 3/8 hole. It is just for a frame alignment on a standard bike. And then, you know, the bolts have been in and out like 100,000 times because these things are old. So they're not all the same. So make the transfer punches to suit the holes because they're all ever so slightly different. That's just from use, you know, because old things, the best thing to do is just find the end of a drill bit. This is good for that one. It won't go in that one, and he just about goes in that one. So yep. Let's take it to the lathe and then show you how to. They're very quick making these things. These are all the transfer pins. They're all ready now. We'll fit the plate. We transfer all the holes in one go. The other way to do it, chuck in a chuck. The only 9.3 drill I've got, so that's under 3/8 by a few tau. So we can use the reamers. That's all the holes drilled. It's not half make a mess, aluminium. So let's see how we get on. There we go. Nice holes. See the fit first. So we'll start with this plate. And we'll ream it from the engine out into the plate. And then after we got this one, then we can go in with the long reamer from this end and do that plate. You just wiggles it into line. It should go straight through. Yeah, it'll come out okay. So we've got one at 3/8. It's a nice fit. Right. We need one just to bolt it on. See, this, it won't go through. Yeah, he's undersized and he's 8.2, he'll go through. So we've got 2 to go through and we'll ream the 2 other ones out. Let's do that now. Really nice. So what we'll do is stick the reamer in this backwards. I bring it back. He still needs the cam tone, that needs filing in a bit more. So we hand fettled this plate here. Just pass a bit of cardboard behind it, just to make sure it's not fighting. It is loose, you know. So to decentralize the plate. And do the same here. Okay. I can see it on the other side. So now we can ream these last two holes. That's a tapered fitting pin, just to hold it in place, and then just centralise it as good as possible. Alright, let's ream the hole. Alright guys, to recap what we did off camera, because otherwise these videos would get super long. We reamed all these holes out and we transferred them back from the original engine holes. We will not use these. You could just clamp this on top of this plate and drill the holes like that, but you will compound your errors ever so slightly. And because we also need to stay totally parallel with everything, all these holes here are reamed out exactly to 3/8. It's a nice long reamer. It even reaches the back plate there as well, because it runs right through there, some of the bolts. There's totally no clearance in the holes whatsoever, or maybe a thousandth or two, just so they don't twist, so they stay exactly as they are. You've seen earlier on, we got a little set screw here, and there's a set screw there, and then each time you do work on the plates, you screw them together with the set screws, and they perfectly line up. They don't do that. Then after quite a bit of deliberation, so that's why we had to make these new plates to have this extra piece here to mount the supercharger plates. So then we made another transfer pin, and it's 30mm in diameter, or call it 1.5" about. That'll be the size of the spacers, and this is just to make sure that they will clear the frame here, and also they run parallel with the frame. Just, you know, the eye wants something as well, as they say. So we can do this one. We can do that one. So what now we're going to do, because this is now the tricky piece, is we need to transfer the position over into the plates for the supercharger. For the moment we're only using 5/16 or 8mm rod. That eventually I will enlarge these holes and ream them out to 7/16 or 1/2 inch. That'll be the end size bolts. For the moment we'll leave it at 8mm. If I make a slight mistake anywhere, I can adjust it, because also I need to get the supercharger horizontal, parallel in a line with the engine, and also not cocked and parallel totally with the drive, what is actually the most important piece. So what we're going to do is we're going to transfer one hole. Then we dismantle the plates again. We also got set screws in the supercharger plates. We transfer one hole, drill that, stick the pin through it. Then I can check the alignment, so at least it's in line. And then I can tip them up and down a tiny little bit till it sits parallel with the head. And I will transfer the second hole. You've got to sneak up on it. Then we got all the holes and if I'm happy with it, then I'll clamp the supercharger plates and the engine plates together, and then we drill them, we'll stick a pin through these, and then we'll enlarge the holes to the size that I want. 7/16 or ½ inch, we'll see which one I choose. So I think that's what we'll do. This time I will not hit it with a hammer. I will just put a G-clamp behind it and just pinch it, because we have to balance the supercharger very carefully in the exact position, and I do not want to move it by hitting it. So that's why we made this spacer to where it's going to sit. And just pinch it, and then we get an impression in the back of one plate. Then we bolt both the plates together again. Then we can drill the hole. Right. Okay, we need to put the drive plate back on again here, so then we can check our alignments with the pulley. This is just so it runs in line. Afterwards, then we can start playing around a little bit with coming in and out with the supercharger to design the final drive when I'm start making the pulleys for the drive thread. Alright, I'll bring you back when we set all of this up and give it a squeeze and transfer some more holes. So that is the whole trick. What you're going to do is transferring holes accurately, and you've got to sneak up on it. So these have been reamed out first in one plate, and then bolt the plate down, and then go through the whole engine. There is a slight clearance in the engine block. Also, these holes wear out because they're old, you know, but they always wear out near the edges. They are sort of more the right diameter in the middle. So that's why it's important to not have any clearance in these plates, so they cannot do that or the least amount, and then none of your other holes will shift either. Right. Let's set that up, and then that's the important one. Once we got these hanging, we're away. All right. Okay, it's set up. That's another alignment tool that I made. It bolts, pinches directly onto the crank, so you can project onto this. That's what I use to line these plates as well. Trusty piece of extrusion. Now we only need to make an impression in one plate. Once we bolt the plates together, everything will be parallel. The only thing I need to watch out for is this frame rail is about 3 millimeters lower than that one. That's what you get with hand built frames, and we're quite close here on the plate. I need to make sure that the plate passes under the frame tubes. The frame tubes are under an angle, the plates are parallel, so just make sure, but I need just a minimum amount of clearance, but that side is a little bit closer. Fairly result. There's a millimetre off the line. So is the cylinder head. He's leaning forward ever such a tiny little bit. He's the same there, but that can still be fine-tuned. He's fairly horizontal that way as well. He's got to come down a tiny little bit, what is good because that frame tube is a bit close, and then we can project. That's why I like these lightweight, these extrusions. I mean, I like these extrusions because they're very light. You can do it with one hand, and then you can go and have a look at the other side. So it might parallax slightly, but as you can tell, that is nice and parallel there. So is good. I'm gonna go and squeeze this thing together and make an impression in the back of this plate without moving anything. There we go. Squeeze that together. That's it. Hopefully we've got a mark. We'll soon find out. Let's have a look. Oh, we got it. There it is. There's our little mark. That one is 20mm off the edge, and we're using 30mm spacers, so that's 15mm from the center. So we got a little bit extra there. That'll look nice, so that's good. Oh, let's get the other one. A good fit. Oh, you over there. Right. Put them together. We conveniently put these set screws in the whole circle. That's for all these little bolts here. So afterwards I might drill them out to this size and then they'll disappear after the plates are finished. So let's bolt them together. And they always line up then, you know, because you have to take these off, put them back on again, do some more work, also for the shaping and the filing. But the outside of the plates, they don't stay like this. We'll give them a nice shape, but that is the very last thing, because I can pretty it up now, and I go, oh no, I wanted a hole here, I need it. So you have to refrain yourself not to make them pretty till the last minute, so you're absolutely sure you got all the fixings where you want, and then you can make it look nice. Alright, so that's done. Let's drill that hole, then we put them back on again. Then we can check is parallel again and transfer the bottom hole. Where's it gone? Yeah, over here. And then finally it's hanging, and when I'm happy with it, we'll take it back off again, take the other plates off again, and then we will match drill these. So we clamp all the 4 plates together, the ancient plates and these, put a pin through it, put 2 pins through it, clamp it together, bore and ream it the size. I'll just have to see what material I've got, what nuts I've got in stainless. Let's see, the 7/16 or 1/2 inch, whichever ones I got the nuts for. And then we have to go and get some stock, because this will be the spacers, but I need some more bar. Right, drill that. Right, so drill our hole, I'll put it back on again. Honestly, that's 1,000 times on off each time, to say. That's why you need these set screws. Don't rely on just putting a bolt through the holes, because it moves. And endless jars and little pots of screws and nuts and bolts. Also, what we do is when you're building it, same here, got some beer cans, close it off. The engine also, we take the push rods out, so because he hasn't ran, he's ready, you know, it's rebuilt. But we don't fit the push rods on a long-term build till the last minute, so all the valves stay shut. There's a bit of grease on the valves, so the whole engine is hermetically sealed when you're not working on it, or when you're working on it, so no dust or dirt can get inside the engine. And then we'll give it a final clean because all this needs vapor blast and everything like that. Let's see how well the first one fits. See the set screw holes are where these are, so we might just enlarge them afterwards, and then we got a nice little pretty hole for the other ones, but they're lower down, so they're down here. Just a fancy piece. We'll see how we'll do it, yes or no. Alright, he's ready to go. Let's see what it looks like. Alright, okay, so now we've got them hanging. Now we can set them properly in plane with, I wouldn't say horizontal because he's not exactly horizontal, but we put them at the same level, shall we say, and then we can mark the second hole. We have got 1 millimeter before the line. Yep. Yeah. Good enough. On the line, horizontal. Yeah, good. Oh, we can mark, pinch it together and mark the second hole. Drill that one, it's looking good. We've got the clearance here, only just. Yes. Just get this little, so that plate will pass underneath the tube if I want to play with it. We'll check alignment again. So in and out, that's to be decided yet. But look at that. Perfect. That's lovely. And then for twist, that way, we'll find out now. We'll turn him to the top. We have the same little millimeter there. We'll turn him around the bottom. That one. Let's get it flat. Yeah. You can see it parallaxes a bit probably. Right. What have we got? Over there. And back to the top. millimeter there. And we've got a millimeter there. So in that plane he's good as well. And it's a belt, you know, but yeah, I'm happy with that. Let's put the jacket away. There we go. Still good. Okay, we're happy with that. Let's drill the second hole, and then he's finally hanging in there. Once I put the proper bolts in it, I can stop saying hanging, then it'll be fitted with the spacers. Right, that was such a complicated little job making these new plates and try to align this up, but as you can see, it worked out great here with the, you know, so it's in line, it's parallel, it's not twisted. For the belt, it's perfect. And then the alignment of the actual pulleys, well, that's piece of cake. That's just in and out now till we're happy with it.